Hey Reddit. This is a throwaway account because honestly, I don't even know where to begin with this. I just need to write it down. Even if no one believes me, even if I sound paranoid or unhinged, I need to tell someone. Anyone. Because I think someone has been getting revenge on me for over 2 decades, and I just realized it. The craziest part? I have no idea what I did. Let's rewind. I grew up in a small town in Ohio. One of those blink and you miss it places, where the school bus ride was longer than the school day felt. My parents were divorced, which was weirdly uncommon back then where I lived, and I lived with my mom, who worked double shifts as a nurse and slept through most weekends. I wasn't exactly popular. Or athletic. Or particularly smart. I was just a kid trying to coast through middle school without getting shoved into a locker. And then came her. Her name was Emily. Emily with the weirdly neat braids and the quiet, calculating stare. She transferred into our class in 6th grade and was immediately the new girl, which automatically made her interesting, because nothing ever happened in our town. She was polite. Sweet, even. Teachers loved her. My mom even said once, "You should hang around with that Emily girl. She seems like a nice influence." And for a while, we did hang out. Kind of. We weren't close. Not exactly friends. But we were, orbiting each other. Shared classes, the same reading group, some lunch table overlap. I remember once she let me copy her math homework and didn't even make a thing of it. That kind of person. But then something changed. I don't remember what happened, and I swear I've racked my brain trying to figure it out. But somewhere around 7th grade, Emily started acting different. It was subtle at first. A cold look here. A missed hello in the hallway. A rumor I heard someone say about me that sounded suspiciously like something I'd told her in confidence. And then, things started going wrong. It's hard to explain. Middle school is chaotic on a good day, and you never really know where the drama starts. But looking back, and I mean, really looking back, it feels almost choreographed. Like when someone stole my gym clothes from my locker and I had to borrow a too small spare from the nurse's office. Or when I got called into the counselor's office because someone left a note claiming I was hurting myself and needed help, which wasn't true, by the way, not even a little. Or when someone signed me up anonymously for a Magic the Gathering tournament at the local comic book store. I'd never even played. I showed up thinking it was a chess thing and got laughed out of the building. It was all small, stupid stuff. Stuff no one ever got caught for. Stuff you eventually chalk up to growing pains. But now, looking back with adult eyes, I'm almost sure it was her. High school came, and we drifted apart. Different classes, different cliques. I got a girlfriend junior year, which was a miracle in itself, and she, Emily, got weirder. Like, distant but observant weird. She joined yearbook, which was odd because I never heard her express a single artistic opinion. But then somehow, I started showing up in all the worst photos. Seriously. There I was, mid-sneeze, eating weirdly, adjusting my junk during track practice. One of them even ended up in the actual printed yearbook. I complained, and the teacher advisor laughed it off like it was a coincidence. Coincidence, my ass. Senior year, I got suspended for plagiarizing a paper I absolutely didn't plagiarize. I'd written that thing myself, stayed up until 2 a.m. the night before. The principal said there was evidence I copied it online. They never showed me what. Just gave me 3 days at home. I missed the deadline to apply early to Ohio State because of that suspension. Ended up at a community college instead. Guess who was on the student volunteer committee that helped fact-check English submissions? Yeah. Emily. Still smiling. Still polite. Still sweet on the outside. At that point, I stopped thinking about her. I figured, we're adults now. She's off doing whatever weird thing she's into. I'm living my own life. I met my, now ex-wife during sophomore year of college. Her name was Laura. She was, well, let's just say I wasn't sure how I ended up with someone like her. Funny, driven, way out of my league. But somehow it worked. We got married at 25. Bought a fixer-upper outside Columbus. She worked in design. I did IT support at a local firm. And then things started happening again. Our Amazon account got locked for suspicious activity. Turned out someone ordered a bunch of inappropriate stuff. Like, very inappropriate. Weird kink gear and books with titles that made me break into a sweat. Someone signed me up for a subscription to a men's enhancement magazine. Yes, that's a real thing. My co-workers found out because it was shipped to the office by mistake. Then Laura got a message from a throwaway email account. No subject, just a single line. He's cheating on you. Check his deleted texts. And you know what? We had been fighting. I'd been distant. Not cheating, I never would, but I was working overtime and falling asleep on the couch most nights. So when she saw that email, she believed it. I never got a chance to explain. She moved out 2 days later. I hit rock bottom after that. And that's when the weirdest thing happened. I got a Facebook message. From Emily. It had been years. I almost didn't recognize her profile picture. Just a photo of a mountain range and the name MJ. The message was short. Hey. I heard about the divorce. I hope you're okay. That was it. No context. No follow-up. Nothing. I didn't reply. But I knew. Deep down, in that pit of your stomach way you know something's off, I knew she was involved. I didn't know how. But I knew. Fast forward to this past month. I'm 33 now. Moved to a new city, new job, trying to rebuild. I'm dating again. Nothing serious, just testing the waters. Met someone great, her name's Jess, and we've gone out a few times. It's been good. Until a few nights ago. We were at her place watching a movie, and she asked something totally innocent. Hey, by the way, did you ever live in Springfield? I had someone message me saying you used to go by another name or something. My stomach dropped. I asked to see the message. Jess pulled it up. It was a screenshot of a post from an old message board. Like, early 2000s old. The username was something random, M_butterfly22, and the post accused someone with my exact name of bullying a girl so badly she had to change schools for her own safety. There were details. Twisted ones. Stuff that sounded almost true, like they were based on real events, but warped through this dark lens. None of it happened. Or, if it did, I don't remember it that way. At all. I told Jess it wasn't me. She seemed skeptical. Said she needed some space. She hasn't answered my texts in 3 days. So here I am. Sitting on my couch, staring at this message board post from 2004, written by someone I know has been in my orbit for decades. And suddenly, I remember something. In 7th grade, we did this dumb confessions box thing in homeroom. Write something anonymous and drop it in the box. Could be a joke, a crush, whatever. I remember writing something stupid about a girl always smelling like tuna. I was 13. A moron. I don't remember who I meant. But I do remember the teacher reading it out loud and everyone laughing. And I do remember Emily sitting in the corner, red-faced, not laughing. Jesus Christ. What if that was it? What if that was the moment that kicked all of this off? What if she's been punishing me for that? For 20 goddamn years. Hey again, Reddit. OP here. Thanks for the comments on part 1, it's kind of surreal how many people related, believed me, or had their own Emily stories. And yeah, I get it. Some of you are probably yelling, dude, change your number, move to another continent, get a priest, believe me, I've thought about it. But this thing goes deeper than I realized. And what happened over the past few days has honestly left me shaken. So where were we? Right, Jess. My newish girlfriend. The one who got the message about me being some kind of middle school monster. I told her it wasn't true, that someone had it out for me, and she said she needed space. I haven't heard from her since. I spent 2 full nights doom-scrolling Reddit, obsessively Googling myself, rereading the old message board post. It was still there, by the way. Buried in the archives of some ancient forum for kids who grew up in the Midwest. Thread title, Middle School Trauma Stories, Let's Vent. The post was from a user called M_butterfly22, dated March 2004. The story? A graphic, detailed account of a girl who was allegedly bullied by a boy who called her tuna girl in front of the whole class, who made her cry every day, who told people she smelled bad and that's why her parents left. It even said she had to transfer schools and started therapy at 12. Here's the kicker, the boy was described by full name. My name. The rest of the thread had a few comments, most of them supportive, but nothing that went viral. Still, I felt sick reading it. I was 13 in 2004. I barely remember half of that year, let alone something that specific. But the pieces started clicking. The tuna comment. The confessions box. Emily's silence. I didn't even know her home life was messed up. If that line about her parents leaving was real, I never heard about it. That's the kind of thing a teacher might have known. But a dumbass 13-year-old kid? No way I'd have weaponized that info. Unless someone told me. Unless she told me. Which makes it worse, doesn't it? Anyway. I couldn't sleep. I started searching for her. Emily's not on any real social media under her name, at least not with a photo. But I remembered she went by MJ on Facebook when she messaged me. So I started digging. Reverse image searches. LinkedIn. Classmate directories. Obits. Reddit sleuth mode activated. Eventually, I found something. A portfolio site for a freelance grant writer. E. Johnson. No photo, but the writing samples matched the style of her old essays. I recognized a phrase she used to say in debate club, narrative integrity. Yeah. She was that kid. I dug deeper. There was a contact email listed. I clicked it open, fully intending to write something measured, polite. Just to say, hey. Why are you doing this? But instead, I just stared at the blank message for 20 minutes and closed the tab. Because here's the thing, if she wasn't the one behind all this, I'd sound insane. And if she was? Then contacting her would only pour gasoline on whatever fire she's been stoking since we were kids. The next day, something happened. At work, we had a new client walk in. Nothing fancy, small business consulting, just a local bakery wanting help setting up POS systems and website stuff. I work mostly remote, but I'd come in to help on board. Guess who walked through the door with the client folder? No, not Emily. But a woman named Samantha, early 30s, quiet, polite, and when she looked at me, she flinched. Like full body, deer in the headlights flinch. I didn't recognize her. But she knew me. I saw it. We did the intro meeting, went over the logistics, made small talk. She kept avoiding my eyes. Voice shaking a little. She left halfway through the meeting, had a call, she said, and never came back. After the meeting, my coworker casually said, "Oh yeah, Sam's the owner's cousin. She's just helping them with admin stuff. Came in from out of state." Out of state. Curious, I looked up the bakery's business registration. Owner, some lady in her 50s. But guess who signed the LLC paperwork as a witness? Emily Johnson. No. F*** King. Way. At this point I was spiraling. If Emily was involved with this random bakery, and Samantha somehow recognized me, then something bigger was happening. This isn't just weird sabotage anymore. This is proximity. Why now? Why come to my city? I asked my boss if we could pass the bakery client off to someone else. Said I had a personal conflict. She didn't press. But the paranoia was now full-blown. So I did something kind of stupid. I emailed the address on Emily's portfolio site. Just 6 words. Why are you still doing this? No greeting. No signature. Sent from a burner Gmail. I didn't expect a reply. But I got one. 30 minutes later, my phone buzzed with a notification. New email, why are you still doing this? From m.j.writer@gmail.com. You remember more than you admit. That's all it said. No punctuation. No sign-off. Just that sentence. I stared at it for 10 solid minutes, waiting for a follow-up. Nothing came. So I replied. What are you talking about? If this is about middle school, I don't even remember what I said. If I hurt you, I'm sorry. But this, whatever this is, it's destroying my life. Please. Just stop. I clicked send. No reply. But the email was read. I had read receipts on. Opened within 2 minutes. Then, silence. That night, I got another message. Not an email. A physical note. Slipped under my apartment door. No envelope. Just a piece of white printer paper, folded once. Inside, it said. Check your voicemail. April 12, 2017. What the actual F***K? April 12, 2017 was, years ago. I wasn't even living here then. But I checked anyway. I use Google Voice for spam calls and old contacts. I'd kept the number since my divorce, hadn't thought about it in ages. I opened the archive. And there it was. A voicemail from April 12, 2017. From an unknown number. No transcript. I hit play. It was static at first. Then, faint breathing. Then a whisper, a voice I couldn't place. Female. Soft, almost childlike. She said. You do remember. You just don't want to. And you never said sorry. Click. That was it. No context. No name. But I swear on everything, it was her voice. Older. But it was her. I hadn't changed that number since college. The voicemail had just sat there. In the cloud. For 7 years. Untouched. Waiting. For me to notice? Or for her to remind me? I didn't sleep that night. I called Jess again. Straight to voicemail. I checked my credit report. Clean, for now. I checked my front door camera. Glitched. Of course. And then I remembered something. Not from school. From college. My freshman year roommate, Kyle, had this thing where his textbooks kept going missing. At first we thought he was just misplacing them, he was a stoner, not exactly type A. But then he got a letter from the university about unauthorized resale of course materials. Turned out someone was using his student ID to list his books online. Guess who worked in the ID office part-time? Emily. She transferred to my college sophomore year. I barely saw her. We weren't in the same dorm or major. But she worked student jobs all over campus. Back then, it felt like a coincidence. Now? It feels like one more needle in the haystack she's been building for decades. And I'm only just starting to see the shape of it. There's one more piece I haven't told you. 2 days ago, I got a package in the mail. No return address. No markings. Just a plain brown padded envelope. Inside was a notebook. Composition style, black and white, the kind we used in school. On the inside cover, written in small, tight handwriting, was: "The things you forget are the things that rot you." And then pages, dozens of them, filled with entries. Journal style. Dated. Organized. All about me. Things I said. Things I allegedly did. A record of every slight, every humiliation, every offhand insult. Some of them I remember. Some I don't. Some I swear never happened. But to her? They were gospel. A timeline of vengeance. One line, dated June 2006, says: "He laughed when I tripped at graduation. He thinks I didn't see. I always see." Another, from 2011. "He doesn't deserve her. I'll show him what it feels like to lose something good." And the most recent one, dated just last week. "He finally asked why. But I want him to remember. I want him to say it without being told. So here I am, Reddit. Sitting in my apartment, notebook in my lap, reading my own life through someone else's hate. And the worst part? A tiny part of me is starting to remember more. I remember teasing her in class. I remember making jokes behind her back. I remember thinking she was weird and telling other kids not to sit with her. Was I cruel? I don't know. But I think she thinks I was. And to her, that's enough. Hi Reddit. OP again. First off, thank you. Really. For the messages, DMs, comments, even the skeptical ones. Especially those. Writing this down and having strangers say, "You're not crazy," has been the only thing keeping me grounded this past week. Because after what happened last night, I'm not sure I ever truly understood what I was dealing with. Until now. So. The Notebook. If you haven't read parts 1 and 2, go back. None of this will make sense otherwise. The short version: a girl I barely remember from middle school may have been quietly ruining my life for over 20 years, all because of something I said or did that I barely even recall. And now, at 33, she's gotten so close I can feel her watching me. Literally. After I got the notebook filled with decades of disturbing, obsessive entries about me, I knew I couldn't just shrug this off anymore. This wasn't someone playing internet pranks. This was calculated. Ongoing. Dangerous. So I did what every Redditor told me to do: I took it to the cops. Didn't go well. I went to the precinct, waited 2 hours to talk to someone, and finally got an officer who clearly thought I was overreacting. To be fair, I showed him a notebook full of writing, no threats, no violence, just observation. Creepy as hell, yeah. But legally? "She hasn't threatened you," he said, flipping through the pages with a bored expression. "She hasn't contacted you directly since that email, and this book, you don't even know if it's from her." I said, "Come on. Who else would send this?" He shrugged. "I'm not saying it's not disturbing. But unless she trespasses, assaults you, or makes an explicit threat, it's not criminal. Maybe try a restraining order, if you can get an address." I left with nothing. I went home, furious. Powerless. I opened the notebook again, reading line after line until the pages started to blur. Then I saw something I missed before. A page, torn halfway down, dated 2 months ago. It said, his neighbor leaves by 8. I can tell from the hallway camera reflection that he comes back at 5:40 most nights. Doesn't lock balcony. Likes horror movies. Keeps keys on kitchen hook. Still sleeps facing the wall. Always did. I felt cold. She'd been watching me. From where? I live on the 3rd floor. The only place you could even see into my apartment would be the building across the alley. So I did something insane. I stayed up all night. I turned off all my lights. Sat by the window. Waited. At exactly 2:07 a.m., I saw it. A red glint. Small. Barely noticeable. From a window across the alley. Maybe 4th floor. It blinked once, then vanished. A camera? A reflection? I stared so hard my eyes hurt. And then, a shadow moved. Not inside the apartment, just outside it. Like someone was adjusting a curtain. Quietly. Deliberately. I grabbed my phone and called the non-emergency line again. This time, I got a different officer. I said I had someone potentially stalking me, and I had reason to believe they were surveilling me from a neighboring building. He agreed to send a patrol car to check it out. They showed up 15 minutes later. I watched them buzz the building, talk to someone in the lobby. No knock on my door. No follow-up. Then they left. Useless. I knew I had one option left. The next morning, I went to that building. Waited by the side door until someone came out. Slipped in behind them, pretending I lived there. I walked the stairwell. Floor by floor. Trying to match the angle of that red glint I saw. 4th floor. Apartment 4C. Door covered in "Do not deliver mail here" stickers. No name on the buzzer. I listened. Nothing. I knocked. Silence. Then, just as I turned to leave, I heard a sound from inside. A phone notification. Loud. iPhone default. Then footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. I panicked. Bolted down the stairs and out the back exit. I don't know if she saw me. But I'm sure that was her apartment. When I got home, my front door was unlocked. I never leave it unlocked. Ever. I live alone. I'm neurotic about that stuff. I have a habit of triple checking. I could feel my pulse in my ears. I stepped inside. Everything looked normal, except for one thing. The notebook was gone. Not moved. Not misplaced. Gone. I searched every drawer, every shelf, under the couch. Nothing. And on my kitchen counter, a post-it note. Yellow. Plain. Now you're paying attention. That was the moment I lost it. I packed a bag. Drove 3 hours to my brother's place upstate. Didn't even call him first, just showed up and begged to crash for the weekend. He's got 2 kids, a wife, a Ring camera. I felt safer instantly. I told him most of it. Not all. Just that an ex-friend had been stalking me. He offered to call a buddy on the police force, but I told him no, not yet. I needed to think. And while I was there, I remembered something. A girl we went to school with, Riley, had posted recently about working in family law. She was in our homeroom back in middle school. She might remember Emily. Might even help me get a restraining order or something. So I messaged her. Riley replied within an hour. She said of course she remembered Emily. We were in the same Girl Scout troop. Quiet kid. Really smart, kinda intense. I asked if she ever heard about any problems Emily had in school. She said, "You mean like when she got pulled out halfway through 8th grade? What? I didn't remember that. I thought Emily was with us through high school." Riley said, "Nope. Her parents transferred her to private school. I think there was a thing with the principal. Something about anonymous bullying notes? They never said who sent them." I froze. I don't remember sending her notes. But I do remember a weird week in 8th grade where a bunch of us thought it was funny to leave prank crush letters in people's lockers. I thought everyone did it. I barely remember who I targeted. It was stupid, harmless. But what if she got one? Or several? What if it wasn't harmless to her? And what if she thought I orchestrated the whole thing? I'm back at my apartment now. Against my better judgment. I installed new locks, a camera, even switched up my usual routine. But I still feel eyes on me. Every night, I check my blinds twice. Every morning, I check my door for notes. None so far. Until today. This morning, I found a USB drive taped to my mailbox. No note. No label. Just a plain black USB. I didn't plug it into my laptop, I'm not that stupid. I used an old offline Chromebook. Scanned it first. No viruses. Inside was one file. Watch_this.mp4. I opened it. It was security camera footage. Grainy, black and white, timestamped, April 10, 2017. 2 days before the voicemail. It showed me, sitting on a bench in a park I barely remember. Eating lunch. Then, a woman sat down next to me. I didn't notice her. I was on my phone. She looked straight into the camera, like she knew it was there, and smiled. It was Emily. Younger. Paler. Wearing a hoodie. She reached into her coat and took out a folded piece of paper. Slipped it into my bag when I wasn't looking. Then stood up and walked away. The video cut to black. That's it. I don't remember that day. I don't remember seeing her. Or finding a note. But apparently, she's been doing this for a long, long time. This isn't just petty revenge. This is ritual. A system. A schedule. A plan. I looked up the park on Google Maps. It's near my old job. I probably ate there dozens of times. I never noticed her once. But she noticed me. Every move I made. And now she's sending me proof. Not because she wants to be caught, but because she wants me to see how deep this goes. She wants me to remember. I don't know what to do next. I'm documenting everything now. Photos, notes, screenshots. I've backed up these posts. Shared them with a few friends. If something happens to me, if I go missing or something weird happens, this is my record. This is why. Some people say revenge fades. That time dulls the edge. But not for her. For Emily, this is religion. This is her life's work. And I was too stupid, or careless, or selfish to notice. Until now. If I figure out more, I'll update. But for now, I'm locking my doors, charging my phone, and trying, really trying, not to dream about the next note. Because I know it's coming. And I'm scared to read what it says.